Welcome to English Grammar 1, Unit 10, Present Perfect Continuous and the Present Perfect Simple. A comparison between the Present Perfect Continuous and the Present Perfect Simple. Present Perfect Continuous is formed like this: I have been doing, subject plus have or has plus been plus verb plus ing. This is the present perfect continuous, as we have already discussed it in the previous unit or in the last unit. And a present perfect continuous, a present perfect simple is formed like this: I have done, I subject plus have or plus have plus past participle, or subject plus has plus past participle. If we look at the key words or the function of the tenses here, of both tenses, we will find that both tenses speak about a past action with connection to now, with connection to the moment, to this moment, now, to the present. So they can be confusing. That's why we are supposed to make a comparison here in order to make the difference clear between both tenses. Let's see number A. Study this example situation. Kate's clothes are covered in paint. So as you see on the left hand, her clothes are covered with paint. So she has been painting. What was the cause of paint on her clothes? We think of something she has been doing before now. So she is in the room, or she came out of the room, and her clothes are covered in paint. So what do we say? Why her clothes are covered in paint? We can say she has been painting. At this moment, the action is stopped, finished, before now, moments before now, and it started in the past and continued until now, until some moments before now, the same action. So here we concentrate on the cause of the result. The result here is her clothes are full of paint, means here this is a negative result. This is a negative result. When we think of this negative result, we think of the cause. And then the cause is an action done by her that led to this negative result. So we say that she has been painting. She has just stopped, and now she is not painting, but her clothes are full of painting. So we say, how comes that her clothes are covered in paint? We say that the cause or the reason or the action done by her, she has been painting. An action started in the past and finished just now. And finished just now. The action itself is finished just now, and we have here a negative result. Her clothes are full of painting. Has been painting is the present perfect continuous. If we think of this situation, we think here that we are interested in the activity, we are interested in the action done by her. It does not matter whether something has been finished or not. So we can't say whether she completed painting the room or not. We just saw her clothes covered in paint. So we don't know whether she completed the action or not. When we say she has been painting, we don't know whether she completed the action of painting or not, whether she completed the activity or not. So here in the present perfect continuous, the action is not known whether it is completed or not. This is one point, one rule related to the present perfect continuous. You can decide whether the action is completed or not. It doesn't matter whether something has been finished or not. In this example, the activity painting the ceiling has not been finished. If you look at the red color, you will see that the ceiling of the room is not completed. It is not finished in this part. So here we focus on two things: the action, the activity which led to the result, and mainly it is a negative result, and the activity is incomplete. We don't know whether it is complete or not. It doesn't matter whether she finished painting or not. On the other hand, in the case of a present perfect simple, if we look on the right picture, then we see that the ceiling was white and now it is red. Now the ceiling is completely painted. The ceiling is completely painted. So what do we say? We say she has painted the ceiling. We use a present perfect simple because we focus on the result. The result is that the ceiling now has another color and it is finished. The action is finished or completed. When the action is completed, then we focus on the result, not the action. When you focus on the result, because you can't reach to the result unless you complete your work or unless you complete your activity. You need to complete the action in order to reach the favored or the result you want or the result you desire. So here the room is beautiful, the ceiling is completely painted, it has another color now, so the action is completed. The action is completed. So when we speak about a completed action, then we use a present perfect simple, and in this case we focus not on the action itself, but we focus on the result. Now the ceiling is red, it is beautiful. The action is completed, which led to the good result, that the ceiling is beautiful. It is red now. She doesn't have to work more. The action is completed. So when the action is completed, this is another rule for the present perfect simple. We focus on the result, not on the action. And if we think of the result means achievement, we think of the action which led to this result. The action must be in the present perfect simple. So present perfect simple indicates a complete action. On the other hand, in the previous one, in the last one, a present perfect continuous indicates an action which we don't know or which is not important whether it is completed or not. But in case of present perfect simple, the action is completed. And we have a result here and we think of the result. We focus on the result we want or we desire. Has painted is the present perfect simple here. So we say here the important thing is that something has been finished. The important thing that something has been finished means the action has been finished. The painting process has been finished. So we have a result. We have a result and we think of the result. Has painted is a completed action here, and we are interested in the result of the activity. We are not interested in the action which led to the result. We are interested in the result of the activity, the result of the action. So the painted ceiling here is the result, not the activity itself. So to conclude, in case of a present perfect continuous, you concentrate on the action or the activity. You don't concentrate on the result. We think of the action or the activity which led to the result. And here, the activity is not complete or it is incomplete. We don't know whether it is complete or incomplete. It is not important. We think of the activity which led to the result. But in case of the present perfect simple, we think of the result itself. We focus on the result, and the result doesn't come unless you complete the action. So the action here in the case of the present perfect simple is completed, is a complete action, it is finished, and we have a result, and we think of the result, not of the action itself. This is the difference. In case of present perfect continuous, you think of the action which led to the result. In case of the present perfect simple, you think of the result, not the action. If you think of the action in case of the present perfect continuous, the action is not known whether it is completed or not. But in case of the present perfect simple, the action is completed. Compare these examples. My hands are very dirty. I have been repairing the car. Here we have the negative result. My hands are very dirty. So what was the cause? What was the activity? We must use the activity here when we think of the cause or the activity itself. We must use the present perfect continuous. So we say, I have been repairing the car. That's why my hands are very dirty. Now I am not repairing the car. I have already finished. So I say, I have been repairing a car. An action extended from the past until now. Just moments before now I finished, and still I have the effect in my hands. My hands are very dirty. So an action extended from the past until now and finished just before now or now, and you have the effect here. We have the negative effect. My hands are dirty. So I say, what was the cause? I have been repairing the car. On the other hand, the car is okay again now. So when we say the car is okay again now, means I have completed my work. I have finished my work. That's why I reached to the wanted or the desired result. So the result I want, I reached to. What is the result? That the car is okay now. So when I focus on the car is okay now, means I have completed my work. So I say, I have repaired it. Now the car is okay. This is what I want, that the car works. It is a complete action. So we use a present perfect simple. So we say, I have repaired it. And the car is okay again. This is the achieved result, or the result I want, and the result I think of. Another example, On the other hand, Joe has been eating too much recently. In the last few months, from past few months until now, Joe has been eating too much recently. He should eat less. Why do we say he should eat less? That means he is fat now. He is fat now, and this is a negative result. That's why we advise him and we say he should eat less. So we have a negative result. And what was the cause of this result? What was the cause of our advice to him? We say he should eat less. Why do we say that? We say that because he has been eating too much. We think of the cause which led to this negative result. And the cause started in the past and just finished now or before now. So we use it in the present perfect continuous. We say Joe has been eating too much recently. He should eat less. On the other hand, somebody has eaten all my chocolates. The box is empty. The box is empty means I am looking for the chocolate. So the box is empty. What led to this result? And the action is completed. I am looking for the box. I want the chocolate. So we say what led to this result? Somebody has eaten all my chocolates. So the action is completed here. So we say somebody has eaten all my chocolate. The box is empty. It is nice to see you again. What have you been doing? The result in the previous example is completed, that the box is empty. It is nice to see you again. What have you been doing since we last met? So you now we think of the cause of the disappearance of the parent of this person. So this person is disappearing, and so we ask him, what have you been doing in the since we last met? Suppose we last met before 3 months. 3 months back until now, what have you been doing? We haven't seen you. We miss you. We miss you. So we say, what have you been doing? What was the action which caused you disappear? So we use present perfect continuous. So we say, what have you been doing since we last met? On the other hand, where is the book I gave you? What have you done with it? Imagine that the answer is, I have finished the book. I have finished reading the book. Finishing reading the book means completed the action. Means we reached to the result, to complete reading the book. So since we think of the achievement of the result of what have you finished, then we use a complete action to reach to the result. So when we think of the result itself, we think of a present perfect simple. That's why we say, what have you done with it? If the person says, I have read all the book or half the book, reading all the book or half the book is a result, and it is achievement, a desired result, or a result you want. So here we think of a complete action. So the action becomes, what have you done with it? We use a present perfect simple. Where have you been? Have you been playing tennis? Have you been playing tennis? So you are disappearing. So we say, where have you been? The person, and we complete saying, have you been playing tennis? what was the action done before now that made you disappear? So the action, have you been playing tennis 1 hour or 2 hours back until now? So we think of the cause which led to you to, or which made you disappear. So we say, have you been playing tennis? We use present perfect continuous. Have you ever played tennis? If I think of a person who is experienced in playing tennis, or who is professional in playing tennis, who is very good in playing tennis, so we think of a completed action which led to this good result. So we say, have you ever played tennis? We use present perfect simple which led to this good result. So we use present perfect simple in this case. Number B, we use the continuous to say how long for an activity that is still happening. If we think of an activity that is still happening, the same activity, the action itself is still going on. On the other hand, we use the symbol to say how much, how many, or how many times for completed action. Okay, if you think of how long means you think of the action itself which led to the result, whether it is negative or positive, but you concentrate on the action, or you focus on the action itself, the period covered by the action. The period covered by the action. When you think of the action and the period covered by the action, you use a present perfect continuous. So when we say how long, we ask about the period covered by the action. So in this case, we use a present perfect continuous with how long. If we think of the result can be measured by how much, how many, or how many times. How much or how many or how many times. This is a result that comes after a complete action. So when we think of how much, how many, and how many times, then here we speak about the result, the desired or the wanted result, so, or the favored result. So we use a complete action here because you can't reach to the result without completing the action. So we use here a present perfect simple in order to reach to the result we want. So here are other two rules. If you focus on the action itself and the period covered by the action, you use a present perfect continuous. If you focus on the result, which is measured by how much, how many, and how many times, then you use a present perfect simple. In the first case, with how long, we use a present perfect continuous. How long have you been reading that book? Here we think of the action itself, how long, or what time does it take or does it cover. So the action, we speak about the period covered by the action here, so we use a present perfect continuous to speak about the period covered by the action itself. On the other hand, how much of that book have you read? Imagine you say, I have read half the book. If you say, I have read half the book, this is an achievement, this is a result, this is a desired result. Or if you say, I have read all the book means this is the result, a complete action which led to this result. Then we use a present perfect simple. So we say, how much of that book have you read? On the other hand, Lisa is still writing letters. She has been writing letters all day. So we speak here, if you look at the bold letters, you will find has been writing, a present perfect continuous, all day, from the beginning of the day until now. From the beginning of the day until now. All day indicates the period covered by the action. All day indicates the period covered by the action. Began from the beginning of the day until now, the action. So we focus on the period covered by the action, so we use a present perfect continuous. So we say, she has been writing letters all day. On the other hand, if we look at this example, Lisa has written 10 letters today. If we think of 10 letters here is achievement or result or desired result or wanted result or favored result. So we say this is the result we want, then we should have finished the action. So we say Lisa has written. We use a present perfect simple because it indicates completed action. You can't reach to the result without completing the action, completing the work. So in this case, we use a present perfect simple because 10 letters indicates the result. When we think of the result, then we use a present perfect simple. On the other hand here, they have been playing tennis since 2 o'clock. Imagine it is now 4 o'clock. So since 2 o'clock, from 2 o'clock until now, until 4 o'clock. So we speak about the period covered by the action. The time covered by the actions. That's why we use here present perfect continuous. Started from 2 o'clock and finished now, or sometimes it is not finished now at this moment, or sometimes finished just before now. So we say they have been playing tennis since 2 o'clock. Another example, they have played tennis 3 times this week. The number of times of playing tennis or of training is considered a kind of achievement or a kind of result, a good result done by a team. So the number of times they practice is considered as a result or an achievement. That's why we speak of a completed action. So we use here a present perfect simple. They have played tennis 3 times this week. So we use here a present perfect simple. I am learning Spanish, but I haven't been learning it very long. Here I speak about learning Spanish, and I speak about the period covered by the action. The period covered by the action, very long here. So we say I haven't, and it is negative. It becomes I haven't been learning. We use here present perfect continuous because we think of the period covered by the action. So we use here present perfect continuous, and it is negative, so it becomes like this: I haven't been learning it very long. Another example, I am learning Spanish, but I haven't learned very much yet. When I say I haven't learned very much here indicates the achievement of learning Spanish. Indicates the achievement or the result achieved by the action. So when we think of the result achieved by the action, then we think of completed action. When we think of a complete action, then we use a present perfect simple. So the statement becomes like this: I am learning Spanish, but I haven't learned very much yet. It is negative, so we say I haven't learned very much yet. We use a present perfect simple because we think of the result, the achievement. Some verbs, for example, know, like, believe, are not normally used in the continuous. We know the reason or the cause why they are not used normally in the continuous. These three verbs, know, like, believe, are considered as stative verbs. That's why they are not used in the continuous. So if we want to use them in the present perfect continuous, it is not allowed. So we opt for present perfect simple. We don't use them in the present perfect continuous. We use them in the present perfect simple because they are stative verbs. For example, we can say, I have known about it for a long time. Not I have been knowing. Though we focus here on the verb itself, on the action itself, we still use a present perfect simple because the verb know is a stative verb. That's why we can't use it in the present perfect continuous. We must use it in the present perfect simple. So the statement becomes like this: I have known about it for a long time. For a list of these verbs, see unit 4 number A about stative verbs. But note that you can use want and mean. The verbs want and mean can be used in the present perfect continuous, though they are stative verbs. So the two verbs want and mean can be used in the present perfect continuous, though they are stative verbs. So we can say, I have been meaning to phone Jane, but I keep forgetting. So here the verb mean is used in the present perfect continuous, though it is a stative verb. That's all. Thank you.